Long before he became a multi-millionaire global superstar inside the famous rings of Japan, Mirko Filipović lived a life defined by intense, real-world danger. Serving as an elite operator in the Croatian police anti-terrorist special forces unit, he forged an unbreakable mental armor that no sports opponent could ever replicate. This gritty, dangerous background earned him the legendary nickname Cro Cop, a title that struck absolute fear into the hearts of fighters all across the globe. He brought the cold, calculated discipline of a highly trained military specialist directly into the world of professional combat sports. Mirko did not engage in cheap trash talk, forced internet drama, or emotional pre-fight antics. He stared at his opponents with a detached, terrifying gaze that signaled immediate violence. He treated every single bout as a tactical mission, walking toward his targets with a stoic, clinical focus that made audiences completely hold their breath. What truly transformed Mirko Cro Cop into an absolute mythical figure within the combat community was the devastating power hidden inside his left leg. He coined the single most famous quote in fight history, warning everyone that his right leg meant the hospital, but his left leg meant the cemetery. This was not an empty boast, it was an absolute factual statement backed up by dozens of unconscious bodies left scattered across the canvas throughout his long career. His signature left high kick was delivered with a blinding, lightning-fast velocity that completely defied the heavy mechanics of a traditional heavyweight. He could set up the strike in the blink of an eye, hiding it behind a crisp boxing jab before launching his shin directly into an opponent's jawline. It became the most feared, highly studied weapon in the entire history of mixed martial arts, a move that could instantly end a world championship fight in a fraction of a second. The absolute historical pinnacle of Mirko's legendary fighting career occurred during the golden, magical era of the Pride Fighting Championships in Japan. On his 32nd birthday in September 2006, he put together the most spectacular, dominant single-night performance the heavyweight division had ever seen. He captured the prestigious openweight Grand Prix champion title by brutally destroying elite, world-class legends back-to-back in spectacular, violent fashion. Winning that massive silver trophy in front of a roaring, passionate Japanese crowd solidified his status at the absolute pinnacle of global mixed martial arts. He had spent years chasing the elusive gold, battling in legendary, bloody wars against icons like Fedor Emelianenko and Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. For a brilliant moment in time, Cro Cop was officially recognized not just as a top striker, but as the most terrifying, dangerous heavyweight fighter walking the face of the earth. What makes Mirko's enduring legacy so incredibly unique within combat sports history is his absolute mastery across two completely different fighting disciplines. Before he ever executed a sprawl to defend a takedown in MMA, he was already an elite, world-class K1 kickboxing superstar. He fought the absolute greatest strikers of all time, including Ernesto Hust, Peter Aerts, and Jerome Le Banner, inside packed, historic arenas where striking was a highly refined art form. He remarkably returned to his striking roots late in his career, capturing the prestigious K1 World Grand Prix Championship title in 2012. This monumental achievement made him one of the very few athletes to ever win major world titles in both elite kickboxing and mixed martial arts. Mirko proved that his elite striking fundamentals were completely timeless, capable of translating seamlessly between the white ropes of a ring and the chain-link fence of the octagon. The true depth of Mirko's fierce warrior heart was definitively proven through his absolute obsession with avenging his rare, painful career defeats. He possessed an unyielding, prideful spirit that simply refused to let a loss stand, actively chasing down former conquerors years down the road. Legendary fighters like Kevin Randleman, Josh Barnett, and Gabriel Gonzaga all felt the terrifying wrath of Cro Cop in highly anticipated, high-stakes rematch battles. His spectacular knockout victory over Gabriel Gonzaga in their 2015 UFC rematch served as the ultimate poetic justice for his longtime fans. Mirko avenged the most devastating, shocking loss of his career by utilizing a brutal elbows barrage inside the octagon, proving his elite resilience. He showed the entire sports world that a true champion is not defined by how he falls, but by the relentless, cold determination he shows when hunting down his past failures. When severe health issues finally forced Mirko Cro Cop to permanently retire from active competition in 2019, an entire legendary era officially came to an end. He left behind a spectacular trail of shattered records, broken jaws, and historic highlights that will continue to be replayed for generations to come. He entered the fighting game as a stoic cop from Croatia and left it as an immortal, first ballot Hall of Fame icon of global human violence. Future generations of heavyweight strikers will continually study his flawless southpaw footwork and hip rotation, trying in vain to replicate his magic. He showed the world that a giant can move with the lethal grace of a sniper, combining special forces discipline with championship gold. The legendary Croatian soldier has finally laid down his gloves to rest in total peace, but his lethal left leg silhouette remains permanently etched into combat history.